Hey everybody, welcome back. This time we are looking at Dwayne Johnson in Skyscraper. This is Chris, and with me for this review is Isaac.
Hey guys, what's up?
So, the summer blockbusters are here. Isaac, why don't you go ahead? Give your initial and overall thoughts of Skyscraper. And remember, we're trying to keep this non-spoiler.
Non-spoiler, I would have to say exactly what you expect it to be.
It is. It is exactly what it should. It is exactly what it should be, and that's our review, everybody. All right, no,
that's good. That's good. Have a good night.
that could do it. We're gonna talk about it a little bit though. But yeah, no, this is fun. It's a fun popcorn summer blockbuster movie. The Rock is the Rock. The scenario is the scenario that you think. He's in a building. It's in trouble. The bad guys are the bad. And on that, let me start with that then. All your favorite bad guys are here. Big Bruiser guy. Hacker guy is here. Badass chick is here. All the nameless, faceless grunts are here. Pretty much all of them are hanging out in this movie, and they all do their role really well.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's a great way to put it. Everyone is who. That's, man. How else can you say it? How many more times can you say it? Everyone is exactly who they should be.
And everybody is very one-dimensional.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
A great summary of this film is actually the LA Times did a review on this, and they wrote, it's an old-fashioned, star-driven action movie in a sea of Hollywood sequels. And I think that pretty much sums it up right there. It's just it is what it is. There's no plot twist. You see everything coming.
Yeah, and on that topic, I completely agree. And let me say that they continue to try to make movies like this, be them A movies and B movies. This one's an A movie. You don't get you get plenty of B action movies, but they don't really come out in the theater too much anymore. You see a lot of them on Netflix or on other pay stations or whatever. This is good though. A lot of people, and there's plenty to like about B action movies. This I actually think stands up as a really well done A-list action movie that very much comes from the evolution of the old action films to where we are now. I think it's a good evolution of it. It does a good job of it. You've got all the tropes, but there are a couple surprises to it. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, it's all here. Everything that you'd want from a film like that is here. And I think it does well with it.
Going off that note, then, what would you say one of the biggest surprises, non-spoiler, would have been for you?
Yeah, and this isn't really a plot thing or anything. It is a little bit of a surprise, but I think it's worth noting. I think we can say it here. I would have to say that this film is not full of surprises either. But I would say that one of the things that's definitely a standout, not just in the character, but in the role, Neve Campbell, which is just awesome to see her doing something again. No idea why, but just her character, not your typical action movie damsel in distress, bit of a badass.
Yeah, she definitely kicked some out there. That was really cool to see. Especially, I don't want to get into it. I would spoil. Never mind.
Right, you don't want to get into it too much.
She's cool though.
and at the same time, it's not your over the top. Again, going to your typical action genre. It's not an over the top. Oh, here's this hidden person doing kung fu moves or anything. No, they lay down some decent groundwork for the reasons as to why this is. And
she's a mom protecting her kids, and that's
right.
Pretty much is what I expected,
I think there's a little bit more to it than that, but I don't want to say, because it is something that you don't see in any of the trailers or anything as to why this would be. But yeah, definitely a really good role, and I know Neve Campbell's really selective about her roles at this point. I could definitely see why somebody who is picky about the roles that they play would pick this role in her position. It's a really good spot, and it does shine a bit more because this is so basic action movie, and this particular role is so out of that genre that it did stick out for me for sure.
Yeah.
That being said, there are a couple action scenes that are a little bit different. There's a lot of, and you brought this up, something to talk about. Maybe this would be a good time to do that. Ever since the first trailer for this movie, there's been comparisons to Die Hard for every obvious reason. And that's true here as well. But there are some, this movie does a good job of doing its own action sequences as well.
Yeah, it wasn't just, here's a guy in a skyscraper, fighting for this reason, and here's how he's going to do it. I thought some of their stunts that they did for this film was extremely creative and out of the box, and even humorous at times. I'm thinking specifically when he's scaling the glass. But, yeah, it was a very fun film to watch. I wouldn't say, it's not going to win any awards, but it didn't waste my time.
Dude, it doesn't win any awards, but it won my heart. No, it did, though. I had a lot of fun with it.
We're talking about cliches in a film. Absolutely.
There's one thing in particular when it comes to comparisons to this movie and Die Hard. Bruce Willis's character in Die Hard has a favorite way of dealing with things that is in particularly not used in this movie, and that's the only thing I'm going to say about that. I'm pretty sure Isaac's picking up on what I'm saying there. But aren't you?
We're going to keep it open for interpretation, Chris.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So, but yeah, the whole thing, you've got, in Dwayne Johnson, who is a behemoth of a person, you bring him down a bit by making him a former, he's former, let's say special forces, for lack of wanting to use a more specific term, and, He's lost part of his leg, which they've shown in every trailer. That should not be a spoiler for anybody. That's part of the whole thing, is that he has an amputation, and they do a really good job with that. I know in particular that's something that you were looking to see how they would use.
Yeah, that was actually super cool for me. They actually brought on a guy named Jeff Glassbrenner as a consultant in this film, and for those who don't know, he was actually the very first American amputee to ever climb Mount Everest. He did it in 2016. And so I thought that was super cool, and that they had a guy that, he actually doesn't have his leg and he's done incredible things, and they brought him on to kind of deal with, what are the limitations of someone with a disability like this. And I don't know, I thought that was super cool to me.
This movie does go to some lengths. It's not too generic. They do go to some lengths like this, and you can see it in Dwayne Johnson's acting. He has taken care to move appropriately as best as he could for someone who's only supposed to have one leg. And yeah, you can definitely tell in Dwayne Johnson, time and again, if in the right role, will go to that length to bring that out of his character and to bring that out of himself. And I'm glad to see, even though he could have mailed this in all day long, he doesn't. He can be an awesome performer when it calls for it. And he does a good job here. And I think in the film does a good job with that. In particular, you're talking about this ridiculously huge skyscraper, hence the name of the film. And there's definitely some thought and intelligence put into this. In much like the original Die Hard of the 80s, where the building itself brings on as kind of its own character, you have the same here. This skyscraper definitely brings on its own. It brings on itself as its own character, and as any action movie should, the rules are in place of what you're going to be dealing with. Very much like the first act of the film is telling you all about this skyscraper and what it can and can't do, and you're like, all right, can't wait for that to happen. Can't wait for that to happen, and it does a good job of it.
I think going back to like cliches or whatever, I think you know what scene I'm talking about, when they walk into a certain room and there's certain reasons of why you would never have a room like this in a skyscraper, but they just so happen to, and you go, oh yes, that'll be important later, and it is.
Yep, exactly. And it's fun like that, though. So I mean, and I think that's important. That's part of this movie, is that there are some dumb things here, but there are some intelligent things here. There are also scenarios that are absolutely ridiculous. These characters would be dead 10 times over in reality, but it is what it is. There's The Rock, and he's the hero, and amputation or not. But it's good like that, though. And at this point, no one should be watching these films like, oh my god, I can't believe he really survived it. He didn't. It's not. Yeah. It's not real. No. That man.
This is like dead. It's very much like, think of any rock film. You're getting a rock film. It's gonna be over the top action. Mm. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch, but you're gonna walk away going, like that's just how that's every rock film I've seen, whether it be Rampage, Jumanji, any of the Fast and Furious. Like, they're a lot of fun. I like watching them, especially when I'm full of testosterone. But I'm not gonna go, oh my gosh, greatest movie in the world, you gotta see it. So
yeah.
Not bashing The Rock or anything he's done. It's just that's
he's fine. He does good. He does really good stuff. Sometimes he does really bad stuff. I mean, one of my most hated movies personally is Doom. I can't stand that movie. Not only was that a shitty movie, but it shit all over one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. But then sometimes he does good stuff too, like Pain and Gain. That was a great film.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, now on that topic, what is your favorite Dwayne Johnson movie?
Ooh. Oh man, I'm gonna go Fast 7.
Really? Fast 7. You're gonna. All right, that's okay. That's a little cheap, but sure.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily not necessarily because of the movie, but because of everything around it. I think, like Paul Walker dying, it was supposed to be like the last one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And just like his character just so happened to be in it. It was great. If I wasn't going to go Fast and Furious, man, I think it'd have to be Pain and Gain. But again, it's not really because he's really in it. I liked Mark Wahlberg's character.
Sure. Notable just because it was ridiculous and awesome and you brought the franchise up. I think this was the same movie where he breaks out of his own cast and then carries a Gatling gun. Wasn't that the same?
That was 7. Yeah.
Was that 7?
That was 7.
Okay, that was 7. That was Fast 7.
Yep.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
That was hilarious. That was amazing. That was one of the best parts of the movie.
It's just, those movies are so dumb. Whatever.
And then, like, there's a line, I think Vin Diesel, it was him and Vin Diesel, and there's like, when you fight the street hits back, or something stupid like that, and the street breaks, and then the bad guy falls. Oh my gosh.
That's
best
so dumb.
part.
I can only watch those movies in pieces before I walk away. Just like watch something.
That's like a bro movie. Like if you're hanging out with your dudes and you're just like getting way too drunk on PBR, like you're watching Fast and Furious.
I get it. I get why I get why they do well. I don't fight it. It's not my thing. But for me, going to rock movies and my favorite, I got to go back to one of his first ones, The Rundown.
Okay.
Love The Rundown. That is a good movie. Helped to stabilize him as an actor. Yeah. But hey, we're kind of struggling for things to think. I think to talk about for Skyscraper here, aren't we?
I mean, yeah, but I think it's because it's like Skyscraper is such a basic. It's such a basic film. It's like talking about a girl named Caitlin. You can only talk about North Face jackets and yoga pants and Ugg boots before you run out of good things to say about Caitlin. So you just start talking about other things like her sign, so that way you can explain her shitty personality. It's like stuff like that.
Are you referencing a specific Caitlin, or did you really just pull that?
No, that was just I just pulled that one out.
Okay, you're just creating a basic bitch right here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And like, if I had to give this movie a personality, it's a basic bitch named Caitlin, apparently.
Sure. No, okay. So let's go ahead then. There really isn't much more to say. There's not a lot of surprises here, and it's like we said at the beginning. It is what it is. It's a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and rate it. Let's rate it 1.
How many floors? 1 out of 10.
Okay, you want to do 1 out of 10 floors?
Floors.
1 out of 10 burning floors.
Okay, I like that.
All right. What would you give it?
Wait, burning is bad or burning isn't good? That's important.
Well, I think in context of the movie, there's only burning bad.
Okay, so.
Well, no. So, but the higher the number, the better.
Okay, yeah. So it has 7 standing stories in my book.
Okay, 7. It's all right. 7 standing stories. The most complicated thing of this whole review is our score now.
That was the most depthful,
You're gonna go 7. I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay.
We talked about that before the show, and I don't. I haven't changed it since. If you're looking for a fun summer popcorn movie to watch, go see this movie. It's good. It's good and it's fun.
Or rent it, definitely.
Or
I do have one thing I want to add on, though, Chris.
Yeah.
Who does The Rock save next? He saved ancient Greece. He saved the secrets of Tooth Fairies. He saved Kevin Hart multiple times. Who does The Rock save next?
Dude, there's no question that he saves Caitlyn next.
Caitlyn. Oh, that's true.
Basic bitches need saving too. That's obviously that's a trend that he's done. And if you go back to some of his earlier interviews, he wants to make positive statements with the roles that he plays, and that's not true in all of his roles. I will again look to Doom, where not only was it a bad movie, but he also ends up becoming the villain. And if you're upset that I spoiled that, you need to check yourself as far as what movies you care about. But yeah, that's something he wants to, that's something that he's said in the past he wants to do. He wants to be a positive role model and such. And hey, knock yourself out.
Cool beans, man. Cool deal.
All right, so there it is. Not much for this one though. But yeah, good movie. Go watch it. You like action movies? You like The Rock? There's no reason not to see this one. But let's see. We're gonna have another one out here soon. Ian and I will be reviewing How It Ends, Netflix movie coming out. Well, actually, it's out now. It came out
tonight,
today.
Yeah.
So,
comment below what your favorite Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie is.
Yeah. Let us know, and let us know how you felt about this movie. I mean, did we miss the mark? Is this thing just horrible, or is it just? Yeah, it's.
Or is it incredible? Tell us if it's incredible and explain why.
Exactly. If you liked our review, go ahead and like and subscribe. That would be great. But until next time, that's going to do it. Any last words, Isaac?
Party hard, man.
All right, there you go. All right, so that's going to do it for
us.
us.
And don't die. It's Friday the 13th, so don't do anything stupid.
There always good advice. Friday the 13th or not, don't die.
Don't be.
But especially on the 13th. All right, that's going to do it for us. We will see you guys later.
Peace out.
Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, is there anything to go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Yeah, who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.